What's up, everybody? Yeah, it's roasting with Jimmy. All right. Today we're going to get into getting started with roasting coffee the easy way. This is the first time, my first video I'm doing, so I hope that you guys will get something out of this. First thing I want to show you guys is the equipment that you'll need. You don't need all these equipment, but basically it will help you, yeah, so check it out. All right, so here's some of the stuff that we need. So starting over here, this is, get that out of the way. Okay, we've got this canister here. So when you're done roasting, you can put it in this canister. And this has a special, it's pretty inexpensive, but it has a valve to let out the gas. So when you first roast, there's some gas that you got to get released. So this seals it, and you can see there's a little residue of a label. What I always do is if I have a good one, I put the name of whatever coffee I roasted, and so that I know, oh yeah, that worked out, so that's a good one. So anyways, next is this is a what the hell is it called? Temperature control thing, just basically, well, I'll show you later on when we go out there what that's for, but we want to get the temperature of the roasting pan. It's not a pan, it's a pot. And so we know our starting temperature. Just for basically, you can write that stuff down, and that way you can kind of have some consistency with your roast. So pretty important, and it's not too expensive, This is a N95 mask. Basically, it has nothing to do with COVID. This is actually for, because, sometimes it can be pretty smoky. And for me, my lungs are a little bit weak. So this helps me because, I don't want to cough so much. So I end up coughing a lot, but I love the smell of coffee. But, it's the way it goes. Next is a timer. So I like to time how long the roast takes from beginning to end. And also you can, you jot down like first crack or second crack. We'll get into that later, but basically it gives you an idea about what's happening to your beans. And, the reason why you want to track everything is because so you can have, better consistency. You can reproduce, the same, or get the same results. I'm not sure what we're reproducing, but anyways, get the same results. Next, I just picked this up. This is really nice. It's a gear light. This goes on my head, and it gives me full illumination so I can really see the beans. It's important to be able to see what's going on with the color, and then you'll know whether or not it's done or not. This right here is just a picture. This is not totally necessary. In fact, today I won't even be using it. I'm just going to dump all the beans, but usually I use this to measure out stuff, which actually goes with this over here. This is a scale, very inexpensive. It's a food scale. I'll show you guys how to use that later, but let me just show you right now. So what you do is it says, oh, hello, hello. So basically you put this on here and see how it weighs it. So you got there, and you hit the tare, and that resets it to 0. So basically it's taking the weight and resetting it to 0. Then you just take the beans and put the beans on there, and now you've got 8.6 ounces. You can change the type of unit that you want, and that way you're consistently roasting the same amount of coffee all the time. This is coffee that I got from, I've never had it before, so the first time doing this. This is from Coffee Bean Corral, Ethiopia. I have no idea how to pronounce that. Shantaween. I don't know what it'll taste like, but we'll find out. So it should be good. Now this thing here, not as important, and it's actually kind of hard to understand how this works, but let me try to get a better lighting here. So basically it's kind of telling you, it's just a chart telling you what the different roasting color, kind of what you're looking for. But it's kind of hard to get it exact. I mean, it's hard to know exactly, but also there's a thing too where you can weigh the beans beforehand and then re-weigh them after you roast it, and then you basically subtract the amount of the difference in the weight, and that will tell you to some degree what the roasting level is at. Obviously, you've got first crack, city, city plus, full city plus. I tend to like beans in the city plus to full city plus. I tend to do mine fairly dark, but I don't usually get into French, and I don't like it at the burnt level. It tastes like shit, so I don't deal with that. Alrighty, last thing we've got is this strainer. This is to cool it down, and this is really important. This right here is my whisk. It's a big, fairly good sized whisk. So I use that, and this thing in the back is no use whatsoever. I don't know what that is, but I left it in the shot, so oh well. All right, let's go outside and let's get roasting. See you out there. Hey, all right. You can now see a pot, and we're gonna get a initial temperature here. So we got two, well, it keeps changing. Let's see, about 150. So 150 is not quite enough. We're gonna try to get to 300 degrees. We'll put this lid back on, and we'll check it in a few minutes here. A couple minutes.
Okay. All right, we're ready to roast. So we simply pour the beans in.
Hey guys, so I'm recording this because really my you won't be able to hear my voice very well if I don't do it as a narration. So I want to just talk to you about the process going on here. So we heat up the pan, the pot. A good idea is to heat it up for about maybe 5 minutes or so, and have it hold some residual heat. The target is around 300 to 400 degrees. But you can do it, a little bit less. You have to experiment with it. So right away, I need to talk to you guys about what the process is here. We're moving the beans around. I've got my lights, so you can really see what's happening. And this first step is what we call yellowing. It's where the green beans start to turn yellow, and you'll get this smell of kind of a vegetable leaves and grass. And you get kind of a grassy smell. The other thing is that there's, when you tilt the pan, you'll see that I shake the pan. Those are all important things to do. So when I shake the pan, the idea is to flip the stuff that's on the bottom and flip them back up to the top, right? So we're keeping everything moving. And as it starts to heat up, we get this drying process. The color starts to turn a little more slightly brownish. And then eventually we reach what is called first crack. And I want to read this to you guys. First crack has two distinct heat-induced pyroelectric reactions in coffee. It is distinguished by cracking or a popping sound. So in this video, you actually hear the sound. It's pretty quiet, though. For some reason, this coffee was really quiet. So these beans... But yeah, so the first step is you hear this cracking or popping sound, and then some steam becomes fragrant. So you start to smell like it actually will smell like real coffee. And then eventually we hear the first crack. Then eventually, if you keep going, you get into what's called second crack, which comes basically, it sounds more like a fire, like a cracking sort of sound. So it basically occurs, the sugar begins to caramelize, bound up water escapes. And the structure of the bean starts to break down, and oils migrate outward. So after the first crack, the roast can be considered complete anytime according to your taste. The cracking is an audible cue along with sights and smell. It tells you what stage the roast is at. So what we go by is we got city roast, which is the earliest definable palatable stage, right, that you generally could drink coffee. And so here at this stage, just starting to brown, we're starting to get some beginning caramelization. And so basically that's it. So, and what I'm going to say to you guys is the whole point of this video is for you guys to experiment and try this out. So I really hope you get something out of this. You get. Yep, that's good. We reached first crack at 27 minutes. Oh my God. There we go. Okay. Now we're just looking for the right color. I see some of them are still a little bit light brown. We want to get that a little darker. Didn't wear my mask actually. Forgot to put it. Turn everything off. Now, bring this over here. Okay, guys, we are going to now cool it off. So here, got my strainer. And what we want to do here is we are just simply going like this, get rid of the chaff on here, and just slowly working its way. That's a pretty good color, man. I like it. That's exactly where I want it. I mean, I could have gone a little browner than that, but that's like a medium roast, you know? Nothing too dark, nothing too light, kind of in between. Now, the thing with experimenting is, you might do this roast and say, you know what, I need this to be a little darker. Change, basically try out the taste. When it's a little darker or when it's a little lighter. And just honing it in, you know. So it's getting there. You can see there's some that are a little light, but that's normal. You know, this is not a professional roaster, right? I mean, you're not going to get the consistency that you normally get, but this works out pretty good. All right, here we go, guys. I think we're almost done. And after this, we're going to sort it, pick out any bad pieces that we got, and then we're good to go and put it away. And then we're going to roast it right away. I'm not going to wait. I'm literally going to roast it today, and I cannot talk to save my life here. So that's probably good. Okay. Everything's off. Let's turn this off. Okay guys, so we finished roasting. That's what it looks like. I'm going to pour this in here. Okay. And what we want to do is just kind of sort it a little bit. Just make sure there's no bad pieces or anything in here that maybe... God, it looks pretty good though, man. Looks really good. Almost like they're all the same. This one's a little light, you see? Well, you can't see it because my hand's in the way. But that one, a little on the light side. Let's dig through here. Yeah, you know what? This is really consistent. I mean, honestly, like maybe that one's a little too light. But damn, man, I think this is a really good roast right here. This looks really good, but we won't know until we try it. But okay, guys. So yeah, this was a pretty good roast. But what we're gonna do now is we're going to actually roast it up and drink it right away. This is the same day, right? People have this thing about resting coffee. I'm gonna do a whole video on that sometime. It's bullshit. You don't need to rest your coffee, okay? The only time you want to rest coffee is because you're doing espresso. But I'm not doing any espresso, and there's no lattes here. We're just doing straight up. We're doing, what's the name of that? I can't think of the word, you know, but pour over, that's it. Yeah, we're just doing a pour over, and pour overs are great. I love the taste of a pour over. So we're gonna do that, and I don't need to do espresso. Not saying I'm against espresso. I love lattes, but I feel like pour overs are a little better. Like you get more flavor. Like there's something about it that's really, you know, you can taste all the intricacies of it. And so I'm gonna have to go do some editing, you know, and speed up the footage. Otherwise, it's just a long time of me stirring, you know. So, but hopefully you guys will get the idea. And all right, man. Next video coming up, we'll see what we're gonna do. But we're gonna do lots of stuff, man. We're gonna show you some recipes. We'll probably go to some places in the Washington area, Washington State, and I'll show you some of the interesting beverages that people are coming up with, and it's going to be fun, man. I can't wait to show you guys. So, all right, this is Jimmy Roastin', and he'll be back with you again. Yeah!